And I think we're on. Sweet. I'm gonna be honest. I'm the first time I did my live stream, I didn't know that it was gonna take a picture. I kind of like looked at the thing and it was like 2-1, and I was like, oh shit. And so I don't remember what face I made, but either way, you got to see whatever the fuck I made this time. I'll eventually remember, and I'll try to make better thumbnails. Either way, so I wanted to re-elaborate on what I said last night, especially because you're getting a second video in a row in a second day, basically. As I said, live streaming is going to be way easier, especially now that I don't have to edit. It cuts out like fucking 4 hours out of my schedule, to be honest, which is pretty fucking great. Either way, so if you have not seen yesterday's video where I kind of ranted about Frater Xavier, especially what he was talking about whenever he was talking about how magic saves lives, and specifically that one guy's success story. Now, I know I came across very, and I mean very fucking like pissed off. You could have said, "Oh, he's polarized," which we're gonna get to that a little later. Either way, I didn't want to talk too much shit about the guy, and the guy I mean Frater Xavier. But I still respect him. We still have similar views on things, and even if we didn't, nothing really against the guy. However, there isn't anything against the guy who had the success story. I don't want him watching that and be like, "Wow, he's talking shit about me." But as I said, it kind of sucks when people see something like that and they're like, "Why didn't it work whenever I tried to save my father?" or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Damon from Power of the Occult commented on it, and he was like, he thinks it gives you false hope. And in my opinion, that's kind of what it does do. And in my opinion, that can get me into trouble doing that. They could get Frater Xavier in trouble. And it's honestly dishonest. Let's be honest. Because out of all the success stories he's gotten, I don't know if he's gotten any other stories that had to do with saving lives like that. But for you to get it and you're just like, "Oh, here we go, we're going to pick it out." It's confirmation bias, which in of itself would be called, being polarized, so to speak, to completely count the hits and to push the misses as if they didn't actually happen. Now you might be like, "Well, what if this benefits me?" Well, then I guess we don't disagree too much on things. But I didn't want to talk too much shit, but I still have my criticisms. I still have the same criticisms that I made in that video, even though I was kind of a little angry, I'll be honest. But it was kind of warranted, to be honest, because Frater is getting to be a very big influence. A good influence. I'm not going to lie. I mean, he's not like Peter Popoff. However, though, I know that to some of the criticism that I say, you could argue things against it, but it's the same things that Peter Popoff could use. See, when I was in theater in the high school, my teacher taught me something very, very valuable. Actually, it taught the whole class something valuable, but it had to do whenever we were writing about certain plays that we had seen, anything like that, whatever the rubric was about at the time. Basically, the biggest rule was if she could take your essay and she could rip off the heading of whatever you watch, like a Midsummer's Dream, Night Dream, or whatever, and if she could put SpongeBob on Ice as the title of your essay and it still makes sense, then it's bullshit. It could be used on anything. She wants a critique that talks about how, the colors really hit the metaphor with the plot and describing it. You know what I'm saying? And so what the hell am I saying? Now, you could totally say against what I criticize Frater on with, well, he's empowering people, he's changing lives and this and that. But go watch Peter Popoff's, what do they call them? Testimonials. His testimonials, because he sells miracle water. I'm drinking some right now. It's actually bullshit. I'm not. But water is pretty much a miracle. I mean, a lot of people need it more, to be honest. But besides that, Peter Popoff's whole entire following can totally tell you, "Oh yeah, I got $15,000 because of Peter Popoff." You could say he's doing great thing. He's not, though. He's a fucking fraud, and he's been exposed for it. Now, do I think that Frater's kind of just doing things under the rug? No. You know, what can happen to a person's mind, especially as they kind of grow in influence, their mind can kind of outrun themselves. I haven't experienced this, and I am glad I haven't. And I don't know if Frater's doing that. However, it does happen. And so I don't want to give too much slander out on the guy, but still, I said I have my criticisms, and I'm going to keep them there, because if you're putting out basically this sign for magic, like, hey, it healed this one guy of cancer, look at the magic we're doing, it's great. You're going to get really big believers who are going to be hoping, as Damon said, it's going to cause false hope, and Frater even calls hope a bad thing. Oh man, that didn't settle right. But it's going to give false hope, but not all the time, because you could be like, well, what if it works? If it works, great. If it works, great. But if you're pitching this idea to people that it's something that it's not, you are being a little more or less dishonest. And so, well, what do you have to say, Aiden? How would you do magic? How would you put it out to somebody? That's why I tell people to kind of practice it on their own, because they will find their strengths and weaknesses. As I said, it's kind of like a calculator. Magic is just as good as you are. That's why I said, whenever you do magic for something, don't be like, holy shit, I did magic, because then you might just be like, well, I better do this the rest of my life. That was you that did it. You know what I'm saying? Someone might help you to something, but at the end of the day, you make the hard decisions. It's just true. Especially if you want to be someone who says they're depolarized and unmoved by other people, who's making the hard decision. See, whenever you hold yourself to this high standard of not wanting to get moved by other people, it can be hard to admit to yourself when you do. You grow this outer ego shell. And as I've said, the ego, more or less, it can be a good thing. The ego is a lot like putting on different masks. A lot of people be like, oh, I got rid of my ego just to put on a new one. Sometimes the new one can be better. It's just a different ego. We literally wear them like Party City masks. And it's really funny. But these are the things that I wanted to re-elaborate on. Because after rewatching that stream, I was like, damn, people are going to just think I'm roasting Frater. And, here's the thing. I'm not like too deep set. No, I'm not going to say that. What I am going to say is, basically, let's say that you're somebody who thinks I'm wrong. If you comment, the reasons why you think I'm wrong, or, your perspective on why that video of his was a good thing, don't think by watching that video that I'm just going to slam on you in the comments, because, you might show me something worthwhile. I mean, let's be honest, our minds change a lot. And so to say like, oh no, it's not going to change, isn't true. And that's the thing too. Actually, no, let's retract. We'll get to that later. Because I don't want this to be too long. The last one was like 46 damn minutes. And it is 8:40. Yep. Either way, let's keep this thing moving. So what's another thing that I mentioned in that video? I was talking real hard shit about curses, right? So I don't know who this channel is. Damon's we've been going back and forth on Twitter. So there's this guy that does a video like every day. I think he does like 5 videos where he gives a tarot curse out on like somebody. And this shit, no joke, is fucking hilarious, because I don't know if it's completely true. These are Damon's words, but I hold them to honesty, because he just hasn't proven to be dishonest yet. But apparently, like, this guy curses like Chick-fil-A, like the business, like the entity. And he also curses like Facebook groups and shit like that. Either way, I think it's like comical. I think it's hilarious. I forgot what the channel's name was. Either way, Damon did a video on him. I said he made 8 last week, not 5 a day. Okay, so he said when I was saying that he made like 8 a day, I was scrolling down his newsfeed whenever you first posted that video. So whenever Damon first posted his video, because that's the next thing I was going to say. So Damon posted the video, and then dude copyrighted it, did a copyright claim on it or whatever, and so it got taken down. And before that happened, I had seen the video. I'd gone over to dude's channel, forgot what his channel was, and I was scrolling down those. It looked like he posted a lot today, but either way, so he made 8 last week. That's what Damon from Power of the Occult said, which is pretty ridiculous. I think it's funny. I think I'll do a video soon on it, but I honestly think Damon should do another one and just kind of cut him out of it, especially since he's kind of bullshitting about it. Let's be honest. But either way, I just want to get the idea across from last video, because it might not come across as too angry. I don't know what the last video you watched is. See, depending on what your last video is, it always compares and contrasts to what you come across. And you really have to notice that, especially whenever you're watching things, because you won't notice it, but you'll kind of be turned off by people and things depending on where you just came from. That's something very important to notice. And so especially, coming across that live stream, you may have not even seen the Magic Saves Lives video. And it's not just that one that I have a problem with, because as I said, I don't want the dude who helped his grandpa to feel bad. I'm not really trashing him. I'm trashing Frater's confirmation bias, especially because the man talks so much about polarity, yet he is using this polarity exactly to his advantage in a very dishonest way. Kind of like Peter Popoff in a way, but he hasn't hit that mark yet. But either way, even if he does, it's not my place to really choose what you think about the guy. These are my criticisms. They don't have to be yours. As I said, a lot of people like the video that I made called The Secret of Frater Xavier, which is a video that's a way lighter note than the last one that I made, which I got a comment, and I was going to talk about this on another video, but I'll just go ahead now. So I got some comments on that Secret of Frater Xavier video, and oh, wait, what did he say? Here are the cards for your curse. Oh shit, here they come. And so, wait, what was I talking about? I forgot. Ah, crap. I lost it. I completely lost it, guys. I fucking completely lost it. He blew it. Either way, let's think of something else that I knew I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, no. So the Secret of Frater Xavier video, that was a way lighter note. Yeah, comment on the Frater bit. Thanks, bro. And so this guy, he's like talking about, there was 2 people that came and were like, you're writing his coattails. Trust me, that's not writing his coattails. And Frater Xavier knows it too. I have way better ways to write his coattail. And also, why would I benefit from that? Why would I benefit from that, to be honest? I mean, you see some of the other work I do on this channel. I'm going to be honest. I don't really attract much of his followers. However, I do bring some people over to his channel, as if you see on any other video. I fucking recommend him pretty often. But yet, as soon as I made the Secret of Frater Xavier video, and that video blew off compared to every other video, as soon as it was doing good, I knew something was right. As soon as the hate started coming, they're like, oh, you're just riding his coattails. Give me a break. You call that riding your coattails? That was on a better note. You could call my last live stream riding coattails. Leech. Yeah, it was called a leech as well. Let's be honest. As I said, Frater Xavier himself knows there are things I could do to really be a leech, and I'm just not that. And I don't really care to prove that I'm not a leech. It's until that I prove myself to be a leech that shows that I'm a leech. I'm sorry. Your comment doesn't make any difference about it. But another comment, let me go ahead and read it off, honestly, because something very important was said. Ooh, more people have gone back and watched that live stream update. They're watching it right now. Where is it? Frater Xavier. Secret of Frater Xavier. Yeah, so a guy said, it's simply a guy who is bringing light to the world. You are way too complicated, and you're trying to ride his coattails. Kind of sad. I thought it was a pretty cool theory for the time being, especially because it kind of does follow the theory of like egregores and thought forms and things of that nature. And he even admits it, because after that, I was like, I don't think you understand the concept of magical theories, or I should have just said theories in general. But I said, but it's okay. You still get a heart, boy, because I gave him that heart. Let's be honest. And then he said, you're talking about archetypes or thought forms. LOL, I'm very experienced. Good. You were just tossing a very educated theory out there based off someone else's success, and it is very funny. Okay, that's the part that I didn't understand. Like I've come back to this and like read it to try to be like, what does this mean? You are just tossing a very educated theory out there. Let's cut off the bullshit words that makes it like so long. So you're tossing a theory out there based on someone else's success. Well, like I don't understand like what exactly that means. It's not like I'm like, oh, what's bad about that? It just doesn't make sense. And so I said, boy, come back and ride mine again sometime. Oh, wait. Oh, after he said that, he said, all I'm saying is be an original, man, not a dick rider. Peace, bruh. And then I was like, all right, come back and ride mine again sometime. Don't take speculation so seriously, buddy. He said, I'm not. I'm laughing right now. Funny enough, you did take it seriously. Let's take serious and unserious. And let's take earlier when you used the word complicated and uncomplicated. If you're going to take those four words, complicated, uncomplicated, serious, and unserious, where would you put complicated to? You'd put it to serious, right? Apparently not in this fucking guy's world. But either way, the thing that I really had a problem with is all I'm saying is be an original, man, not a dick rider. You could have found any other video where I kind of like had bounced off of some of Frater's ideas, and you could have fucking said that. And I'm surprised you didn't. I'm really surprised you didn't. That was the most foolish thing I read in the whole damn thing. Find me a fucking video, another video, any other comment, any other article, Facebook post, anywhere that talks about the theory that I talked about, the way that I talked about it, or at least very similar, like just the same. Find something just the same, and then you'll prove that I'm not being original. But I don't care, because these comments made me very happy. Why did they make me happy? Because if I'm making a genuine video about a guy and it pops off real well to the point that people think I'm trying to ride his coattails, it shows that I'm doing a pretty good job. And so as soon as I got those, I was pretty happy about that. Let's be honest. Another guy said, nice of you to tap into his success with your video. Did you not just do what you said others do? I need you to really reference what I'm kind of being a hypocrite about, because I might be a hypocrite. I've done it. That's why, as I said, I use this YouTube channel to kind of call myself out on it. So I go back and watch videos. So if you could point that out, that'd be great. I probably would agree with you on that. If you could point out something correct on it. He said, you're like a leech, really. No, already covered that. It doesn't matter what Frater X does or doesn't do, if it works or doesn't work. I don't know why you're saying that to that video, because I'm just talking about, it makes me like wonder, like, what were you thinking when you watched the video? Like, I'm talking about a theory. I'm not even talking about what he does or doesn't do and what works or doesn't work. I think that's more of a comment to like other things that I've said in other videos, and it makes it very complicated. So, keep comments to certain videos, please. It helps out a lot. He said the only thing that is proven is you drawing on him. As I said, that made me happy because I wasn't even trying. And so I'm like, shit, fuck yeah, I'm doing something right. I guess I'm drawing on him. Like, he draws on all kinds of things that he uses. He drew on the guy that saved his grandpa. You only want to call out him on that. But I did. I guess I was just being kind of like this guy. But I like to do it when it's warranted. See, you could ask. You could be like, why even fucking care? Here, hold on a second. I just got to define this. Numino ultra microscopic silicovolcanosis. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I feel like my EA video is more of a leech than your Frater video. Yeah, I could. Well, see, it's hard to define a leech, especially on YouTube. Especially because if you're going to be talking about somebody else, they're associated automatically. If that automatically warrants you being a leech, so be it. It's fucking great. Anytime people do this all the time, movies reference other things all the time. I guess they're being leeches too. It makes for funnier movies most of the time when you see these kind of like memes of the age, not just the internet memes, but like things from past movies. You know what I'm saying? It's a great fucking thing. And if you think I'm a leech, I really don't care. I really don't care unless you can like give me something legit. Let's be honest. Because there were way more people that were like, "Yo, this is kind of like this idea," like Roger M. So according to Grant Morrison, Frater Xavier is just another big idea. Yeah, basically. So you might be like, "Oh, that could be where you got me, where I'm kind of not original." You see, but nobody ever made a video connecting the two between Frater. So there's the originality. I really don't know what to tell you. So if you do have something against that, I guess I suck. But either way, I enjoy it for now. Whatever this ego mask I wear at the time is, it is serving me well. Getting along better with more people that matter, to be honest. So till I find something better, I'm taking it. And I'm going to be honest about it, too. There's a lot of people want to be, I don't have an ego. I don't have an ego. Fuck up out of here. Either way, though, there were plenty of comments on that video. Like one guy said, you're forgetting the most important part, his voice. That hypnotic voice. Come on now. Let's get on. What other things should I... So, live stream, update, and rant. We've already basically gone over everything in that video. Oh, yeah. So you might be like, why care? Why do I care so much? You're just polarized, Hayden. You're polarized. Well, I'll admit that I am polarized. But show me that the other polarity is a better alternative. That's the hard work. Yeah, I might be polarized. You might be polarized. We're polarized against each other in different senses, but show me the better alternative. Because I have served mine up on a dish being that kind of ranty video. And then you'd be like, well, why do you care? Why do you care? I care because I send people over there. Because I don't back up everything everybody said. Jesus Christ. Because I don't back up everything that everybody says. And even Frater admits this. He admitted in one of his last videos he posted on his Subscribe Star. You know, it's why Daniel's Dragonfly doesn't associate herself with him, because it has to do with all the RSD Tyler stuff. You know? And so, we kind of fall in the same things in different places. Everybody does, not just see me and Power the Occult. We also have our differences and our different mindsets. We get along just fucking fine. This is proof you can do it. Anybody can do it. I've had my friends give their hard criticisms of me, and sure, it hurts fucking hard. Let me tell you, it's the best thing I ever need. The hands of the magician. Yeah. Back to that Secret of Frater Xavier video. This is the whole that video is the whole essence of his channel. Well, not the whole essence of his channel, because keep in mind, this is something really important I wanted to go over. That video isn't true. None of it's true. What do I mean by this? That video is just speculation. I talked about way back when. I don't know. I think this is back in Self-Mastery series, about how you can conspiracize about anything. You can do conspiracy theory about anything. I put 33 in my email early on. Someone who's anti-Freemason will call me out on it, even though it's not true. This is what putting the dots together. As I said, I think in that video, I hope nobody took this seriously, but you can speculate about anything. Me and a few buddies, I was making a joke with them about how it kind of seemed like Frater was in prison with a laptop, and he was trying to get enough money to get out, because you didn't see the guy, and he wouldn't talk about too much personal stuff, and he had a buddy that was always in trouble and screwing himself and all this other stuff, and in the times that Frater would talk about personal stuff, he's out working in the yard. You know what I'm saying? And so it's absolutely not true. Dude's not in prison. But it's all speculation, especially the Secret of Frater Xavier video, using that as a thought form, kind of like that egregore concept. And so, Someone might be like, wow, this is so wrong. This is so fucking wrong. I wanted to come back and say that video is speculation. It's just complete theory. It's like conspiracy theory. You can conspiracize about anything. What matters is, does it hold up? And you got to, especially when you find other people speculating things, you got to know, as I said, read between people's words. And especially when you're listening to people, you want to understand people's motives. That's something that can help you in the long run, not just here on YouTube, but in your own life, with family, with friends, people you're at work. Understanding people's motives can help you a lot. That's a big secret. But other than that, I do care about criticism. I do care about who I am basically advertising for on this channel whenever I'm sending people to other people's channels. And I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it at all. It's not like I'm not like, oh, I've given you this, now give me this. No. But if I do make a criticism and you're like one of those comments that are like, like, oh, if you don't have a problem with them, just don't watch them, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you haven't seen another fucking video, obviously. You don't know that I recommend them quite frequently. And so while I do recommend them, I'm not going to have the confirmation bias and just point out all the good things about Frater. Sorry, it's just not going to happen. I'm going to point out the bad things, the things that I have a problem with. Who knows? He might hit me up and tell me, where my mindset's kind of wrong, and I might see it. Who knows? He might actually be like, fuck it, you were right, Hayden. I don't know. And I don't care at the end of the day. All I do is need to make my point here on this channel, because that's what reflects me. I said this in the August 2017 update video. It had to do with the solar eclipse. And I was talking about, at the very end of the video, it kind of started to trail off. It's in the Wealth and Prosperity series if you want to go down and look for it. And I mentioned how the only thing other people know, and I mean know, not like they heard and things like that, because people know inside their head. And even though some people like to associate things with they heard as truth, you got to realize that people deep in their mind, they know only what you've let them see, only what you've opened up to them. This is why first impressions are so important. And so as my own mind changes, I need to make it a point here. And so for those people who are just, it's the people who, I notice it's the people who've just started watching Frater Xavier for like a year or two, and anyone who's against something, they're like, you're polarized. You're polarized. And so no, I mean, yeah, okay, I'll admit I'm polarized in that situation. Give me a better alternative. That's all you got to do. Very simple stuff, dude. So. So, fucking shit. So, Damon just added onto the chat. Theory Frater is a call, like the guy. This is a call for an uprising. I talked shit about him when I was talking shit about conspiracy theorists. Let me talk about conspiracy theories. I do give leeway to some conspiracy theory. I'm not like hard anti, like, oh no, the government's great. Yeah, fuck that. And I know even in the Alex Mayer video, I was talking about how like, oh, this is what school's for. They teach those fundamental things. And, at different parts of the video, I noticed I was in my head, I was talking about high school, and other parts in my head, I knew I was talking about college. But to the viewer, you couldn't know because I just used the word school. And so it's kind of fucked up. And I know I'm going to get some type of something about it, and I'm going to have to reconcile it, but they're probably not going to watch it on here. Either way, though, I'm not completely for the school system either, as I've said. I'm going to be honest. You know what's strange? I only burp, honestly, when I'm making a video. Not just live streaming, but like when I'm like back over there too. No lie. If I'm not making a video, I'm like never burping. It just never fucking happens. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna hate the whole live streaming thing and not being able to edit this out. Hayden's a disgusting piece of shit. But either way, I like the theory that Frater is a call for an uprising, because honestly, man, I wonder how much voice editing you'd have to go through to kind of flip those two around. Because honestly, some people have had theory that the call for an uprising guy isn't a cultist himself. Frater's even mentioned this in one of his videos that it's those people who go to debunk the occult that otherwise would have been great occultists. And you kind of see people where they're like, oh, we got exposed and this and that and all this other shit. And even I don't know if y'all have kept up on Vigilant Christian Mario, but he's gotten exposed a few times. Number one, his channel was wiped out not too long after I made that conspiracy theory video, and just I don't know how long. I think it was like 5 or 7 months ago. He got called out for being on a date as a gay person. He was with another man, obviously, and the reason I say it that way is because he's the type of guy that's completely against that. He fights for the kingdom of God, but yet he is hiding in the waters, going against what he is preaching. What a time to live in. People are, and I'm not just trying to expose everybody either. That's not my goal here. I'm making criticisms. I'm not exposing anybody necessarily. Because everybody has oh man, it sounds like I've got something dark hiding. Honestly, I wonder what people could find. I've got other YouTube channels, as I've mentioned, but they're just honestly really cringy. Like that's like the worst you could pull out on me. It would honestly fucking suck if somebody found that. Um, shouldn't have mentioned that. It's a live stream. Can't cut that out. Either way, I'm pretty sure I've gotten everything that I wanted to say in this about that other video. Because I'm still getting better. I was sick yesterday. I was really sick the day before. I had just gotten home. I just wanted to sleep. I was tired. Hayden was a little cranky. I don't know if you could tell. He was a little fucking cranky. He was a little cranky bitch. We can all be sometimes. And the best thing is noticing it so you can get better. And that's why I'm back here re-elaborating on things, because I know the people that do follow the channel will know that I don't have this big thing against Frater Xavier. I know some people are going to be like, you're mad that he has more money. No, I hope that he has more money. He's taking care of his girlfriend and his pets with that money. I want him to go far with that. And he's not just helping. I assume that he's not just helping his family with that. I don't know. It doesn't matter either way. It's the thing I say in the end of every video almost. I will for you all to prosper and have a great day. Because as I said, even for my enemies who suffer, nobody deserves suffering, but it does happen. And it's why I kind of talk so much shit about curses, because it's just useless salt in the pot of syrup, to be honest. I know some people might like salted syrup. Fuck you. Okay? You get the metaphor I'm making. But I've made almost every point that I'd like to make. I've re-elaborated, and hopefully you've considered some of the things that I've said, reflected onto that past video. But for people who just watch that video, I do understand that if they've never seen another video before of mine, they're going to come across as if they're for Frater. They are polarized towards Frater. As I said, the ego puts on 3 main kinds of masks. It does it to the self, it does it onto another person, or it does it to a group. Right? And so if somebody's ego is attributed to that other person being Frater, and this can be a good or bad thing, because those people who inspire us, it's why you can come across your highest idols, and when they kind of look down on you and basically like let's say you aspired to be a great cook and you knew some guy named Fettuccine Albano or something, and you wanted to live up to his greatest fucking standards. And so you've worked on a dish for years, and then you show it to him and he spits it out and says it's disgusting. It's going to hurt deep down because you attributed your ego to him. That's how these things happen. And it can be a bad thing, and it can be a good thing. People need to keep that in mind. But if you just come to that video and you're just a fan of Frater Xavier and you attribute that ego to him, you're going to be very against everything or maybe everything that I'm saying in that video. I know some people see the things I'm saying, and some people have hit me up talking about how they're glad I've mentioned some of the things about Frater, because these are some things that other people are thinking. And so, Frater, if you're watching this, I'm not the only one thinking this. So don't turn. I don't know if you're gonna. I assume you wouldn't make a video about it. You'd be sending me a hell of a lot of traffic. That'd be pretty stupid, especially if you think that I was polarized against you. Unless you'd want to help me, because technically I helped you in that video too, sending you more views, buddy. Not just that. I even mentioned a few courses in that. Get someone interested. Either way, I want the dude to prosper. I don't want him to. You know, I don't want to piss him off too bad, but at the same time, we have our boundaries. And so new people are going to come and they're going to be super opposed to me. And so I won't care too much about those. I will address those and I will consider them, all of them. As I said, I'm willing to change my mindset if better alternatives given to me. I'm willing to. See it happen quite often. It's why my mindset changes so much between what it was fucking 6 months ago. Sometimes I wish I could pick something, but after I do, I get real uncomfortable and it just stops. But we are at 35 minutes, so I'm going to start wrapping this little puppy up. Basically, end of the message. Frater, I'm not the only one that's thinking about this, and so I assume you wouldn't be polarized enough to just think that I'm just attacking you, and I, you don't usually attack people. I'm meaning like through video, like bleh, more or less. You wouldn't go as far as I did, and I'm going to be honest. I was cranky in that video, but I want you to consider that some of the things that I'm saying, I'm not the only one, buddy. There's other people, and so if you would like to address these things, don't just do them with me in mind. There's other people listening, and there might be people who have attributed their ego to me. And as much as I say, I want my viewers to never get pissed off if someone starts talking shit, don't go over there like a fucking army. And I already had someone a few weeks ago, kind of like that. Not really, because you see it more rampant in other areas of YouTube. But someone was like sending people from Rachel Stevens over here, which I was fine with because I really did need to make a second video about her because. Got a few comments on that, and he also wanted to see it. I think it was like Newman Riley. Either way, if you are watching this, I will be doing another Rachel Stevens video. But Frater Xavier, if you're watching, keep in mind the messages. Everybody else, if you haven't seen the last video, watch that last video I made, the live stream rant and update. Come back and watch this. It should make all sense. Either way, I plan to do more live streams. My next real video, and by real video, I mean when I actually use my fucking camera and I set up that HYHO. The only reason that I'm live streaming because it's too easy. I just get up out of bed or wherever I am, flip open the laptop, click a few buttons, and here we are, 37 minutes in already. And then I just get off. No editing. Done. And so I plan to do more of these, but also I don't want to bombard everybody with ridiculous notifications because I honestly do not like that. And so if you don't like that, please don't press the bell on my notifications. Just subscribe. Either way, I will for you to prosper. That's my dog, and I gotta go. See you guys later.